Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom. Giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the Creator, the Maker of heaven and earth. Brothers and sisters, this is, more than one time having to try to get this presentation done for the people. Sorry about the situation. I believe I made a blunder in trying to do the volume thing. So I think that was the situation in that particular case. If such is the reason, and if I can be heard now, please let me know in the comments. Thank you for that. I'm going to, brothers and sisters, pull up the PowerPoint and move on from that particular case. Torah Rabbah for such. We're going to start from the slide in the beginning, brothers and sisters, and continue in said vein. Thank you for that. Giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the Creator, the Maker of heaven and earth. If I can be heard, brothers and sisters, please give me an acknowledgement like a 1 or something of that kind of nature. Again, I apologize for the tardiness in not doing it last night. I was exhausted. And today, in attempting to do this at 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're doing it later than such. Again, family, I apologize for such. All right. Now, thank you for that righteous living. How you doing? Again, I thank you for the patronage in which you've done in the past. When people respect you, take you serious, have any kind of admiration for you and so forth, it doesn't hurt to acknowledge it, brothers and sisters. So, in light of that, brothers and sisters, I'm going to, now that I know that I can be heard, thank you for that. I'm going to, brothers and sisters, continue in this. It's not a very long presentation. I intended, as stated, to have done it last night, but again, I was exhausted and need to work on not being too personal, not, quote, spreading myself too thin in particular manners or matters. So, with that, brothers and sisters, let us continue. This presentation is based on explaining the Hebrew of Joshua 4, verse 4. We ask you all to subscribe to the channels and to leave a comment. Shalom. Joshua 4, verse 4. Then Joshua called the 12 men, whom he had prepared of the children of Israel, out of every tribe a man. Now, this is, brothers and sisters, the one verse that we are going to be going over in this particular case. All right? And let us look at this for reasonable purposes. If we use, brothers and sisters, the laser pointer, here's what we can see in this particular manner. WyeeQra Yahushua El Shanem Asar Ish Asher Hekin Mibne Yisrael Ish Echad Mishabet. So now let us look at this, brothers and sisters, and go on for edification purposes. Thank you. Here we see, brothers and sisters, the word WyeeQra. Now, most times when people hear the word WyeeQra, Leviticus comes into one's mind because that is the first word in the book of Leviticus, so that bears the name of it. You understand? All right? And what we're looking at here is this word is WyeeQra. The word is a compound word in that in Hebrew is a word that has a 2-word English translation. Shalom, Sarai. Shalom, sweetheart. How you doing? The verb is a lamed aleph verb. The prefix is the waw and yod. There is no set suffix in this word. Now, I want to take the time out now on a human level and give a shout out to the lady Ima Naami. She was a person who, when my mother passed away, definitely was a help to the family. She was a person who basically was telling me and encouraging me, being even older than both my parents, that brother, when, or young man in this case, when you teach the Hebrew, you go, let's look at this and let's do that. My lady tells me that I micromanage things and nitpick in certain cases and so forth and so on. My little princess, who I'm going to see later today, thankful for that, my little daughter, she tells me that I try to sit there and have the mind of an elephant and the eyes of an owl when trying to search for things. So I'm saying all of that to say that there's someone like Ima Naami, older than both my parents, if my parents were alive. Then there's the beautiful woman in my life, my lady. And then there's somebody who came out of my loins, my child. And all of them being one older than my parents, one in my generation, and one in the next generation, speaking upon a particular matter. That says volumes, brothers and sisters. All right. So it is encouraging, brothers and sisters, in this particular case. On this channel, not too long ago, so-called Wednesday, Yom Revi'i, or the fourth day, I advertised for the Hebrew classes that is for the people who deal with Moradina, whom I've known for over 20 years, and Mora Yiftach, whom I've known for some time. It doesn't take anything away from you as a brother or as a Moray to sit there and advertise somebody else, Some people may be in their feelings. Well, I ain't going to sit there and try to, big that brother or elder or sister up. That's selfish, because I can name Hebrew teachers who are now deceased. May they rest in peace, whom I chose to be their Talmud. Morey Tibak, may he rest in peace. I got about how to prefix, suffix, root. I got that style from him. There's Morey Hoshea, may he rest in peace. The first person I heard in my life to go over a Hebrew prayer, and who taught me Ibrit Atik, or ancient Hebrew, brothers and sisters. And there is, may he rest in peace, Adon Aharon, who was also a Hebrew teacher to me, who, when I said when I was 11 years old, like, oh, how come this Hebrew is so hard, and ancient Israel can just speak English, it don't matter what language, is about your righteousness. He stated English is backward than all languages, even European Japhetic languages. I didn't know that until I began to study a little bit of Spanish, that English is really the one that's really backward. So what he was saying is, you got this. You can read this. You can go over this. This is yours. That was encouragement. So you never know. And all these people who I mentioned, Adon Aharon, Morey Hoshea, and Morey Tibak, they all been deceased for over 15, 20 years now. You never know that little word in any language that can spark something. Everybody in the chat, I'm sure, heard of the guy Tupac. May he rest in peace. He stated, if I'm not paraphrasing him incorrectly, that he may not be that one, but he may be that one that sparked that one. You never know what it is. Eldad and Medad prophesying in the camp in ancient days made Moses say, I wish they were all prophets so they can sit there and see what it is. So if we understand that Moshe was a man of humility and a man of meekness, and he was a prophet, how can you accept the title and be referred to as a Moreh, but then not speak upon other Morim teachers or Morot, female teachers? Moses didn't want to be the only prophet. So anybody who wants to be the only Moreh, you don't understand the book that we're reading when we read the 5 books of Moses. So now let's get into this. Let's look at this, brothers and sisters. You have here, all right? Let's look at the highlighter. This is a lamed aleph verb in that it ends, brothers and sisters, with the letter aleph. Now, for those who are following already, the reason why I come to understand I wasn't able to be heard is because And it's to collaborate maybe or land back on what my brother, whom I've known since we were literally children, when we used to play basketball together in a game called Taps. I ain't going to get into the game on the Shabbat, but nonetheless, him and I, back when we were 11 years old, used to play with basketballs with each other. That's how far back we go. I'm talking about Rob Zuridon, who runs the congregation in Goshen in Georgia. He said in a statement that he sent to me about the steps being ordered by the Most High. When you don't go by the steps of the Most High and try to skip steps, you wind up finding yourself having to go back and restart it. That hit me like a mallet. So even looking at this on why my voice couldn't be heard earlier, I forgot to add myself into the stream. So I was able to talk, but I wasn't able to be heard. There's steps to follow. So now I had to delete that presentation that because it wasn't able to be heard and then restart again. So maybe we can learn life lessons. The Most High orders the steps. When a person goes against the order that the Most High set up in steps, you got to wind up going back and having to restart. The righteous fall 7 times to get back up. The wicked fall and never rise back up because they don't see themselves being any better than where they at. So, brothers and sisters, let us continue in this particular case. All right. If I can be heard, give me a 1. Thank you. You see the aleph there highlighted, right? That's why it's called, brothers and sisters, the lamed aleph verb. The lamed aleph verb in that particular case. All right. The prefix is the waw and the yod. So now let's look. I'm going to show brothers and sisters with the pen. The first prefix, this letter, waw. And we're going to color code, brothers and sisters, if we will. All right. Oh, no. I want to color code it with the highlighter in the blue or in the blue. Thank you for that, love. What we see there in the blue, the yod. So now looking at this right here, you have the waw that's circled, the yod serving as a prefix. When you have the yod as a prefix, that's the third person masculine singular. Then you got the root of the word quara. There is no suffix in this particular word. All right. So if there are any questions concerning this, let it be known. Shalom, brother, True Lijon. If I mispronounced it, please forgive me. Shabbat Shalom, Yisrael. We're going to go over that word Yisrael in this. Let's go on to the next slide, brothers and sisters. Yehoshua is a name. The meaning is God is salvation. Shua is a word meaning salvation. So you might find Elishua, Abishua, and so forth and so on. All right. The verb yasha, which is a peyod verb, means to save. So now, brothers and sisters, let us, for edification purposes, right, try to show this in reason. I want to do it that way. All right. Yasha, brothers and sisters, means to save. Now, when we deal with that, Yahoshua, Shua meaning salvation, brothers and sisters. And what we want to do is enlarge in this particular word, all right, for reasonable purposes, if we will. And brothers and sisters, thank you all for joining in this particular case. We want to show this enlarged and even larger. Now, let's go back into this. Yahoshua. Now, we're going to show, because that is a very, very common name in Israel, with the laser pointer. Yahoshua. Yahoshua. Shua meaning salvation from the word yasha, right? The word yasha, brothers and sisters, we're going to type that in here for reasonable purposes. Thank you for bearing with me with such. All right. How's everybody doing? If you're feeling good, if you're feeling well, type in a 4. If you're feeling well, if you're feeling good, type in a 4. All right. So, in that particular case, type in a 4 if you're feeling good and feeling well and giving honor and praise unto the Most High. So, let us get into this. We want to show, brothers and sisters. All right. Thank you for bearing with me with that. We have the word yasha. We're going to copy, show this in this particular case, so it can be explained on what we're talking about for reasonable purposes. Thank you, brothers and sisters. All right. Now let's look at here, brothers and sisters. We have here yasha, a payod verb meaning to save. Signification of this payod verb is that it begins with the letter yod. That's how we know that it is a payod verb in that particular manner. Shalom, Eric Miller, High Life Productions. How are you doing? And again, I apologize directly to everybody about not having it set up correctly for the volume. My man is on that. So we see Yasha means to save, Shua means salvation. Next slide. 12. El Shanem He Asar Ish. El meaning two. Shanem He Asar. Now I want to color code something and explain, brothers and sisters. This He Asar, and we want to, brothers and sisters, enlarge this for reasonable purposes. All right. Take it from there, bring it down to 60. Then we're going to go back to this here. And this hey that we see right here means, brothers and sisters, the word the. All right. Here we see color coded here. The he asar. Now, why do we see he instead of ha, brothers and sisters? Is because the letter that follow it is an iron. So that's how you say he asar. The word asar by itself, brothers and sisters, when you look upon it in this particular manner, we're going to erase that, brothers and sisters, and show with the pen here. The word asar by itself here means 10, T-E-N. Here we see shenaim. Shenaim meaning two or both. So when you say shenaim asar, it means 12 or 10 plus both and say literal translation. But 10 plus both being 2 is how you get 12 in this case. So I just want to show that. All right. And here, brothers and sisters, we see, all right, in this particular manner with the laser pointer, the word ish. What does the word ish mean? Anybody knows what the word ish means? What does ish mean? Anybody? We're going to move on. Asher Hakin. What are we seeing, brothers and sisters, right there? Well, the word for wife is Isha. So, in knowing that, what would be the word in translation Ish means? All right. Let us look at this and enlarge it as the others. Correct. Thank you. It means husband or man. Thank you. Now, what we're looking at here, brothers and sisters, in dealing with the laser pointer, is the word asher, which means just that, which or that. Hakin. We're going to color code, brothers and sisters, the word hakin in this particular case and expound upon it briefly. In the verb forms, and this is going to be put inside of a future book, Hebrews Easy Volume 7, this word here. The word hakin means to prepare. It comes, brothers and sisters, from the root word nakhon. Nakhon meaning correct or ready. It also comes in part from the word mukan. Mukan meaning ready. So when you are prepared, hakin, you also become, brothers and sisters, ready. Preparation is very important. Being prepared, being ready, and preparing causes you in Hebraic thought to become established. So we want to point that out for edification purposes. Now, whether or not ish is the correct spelling or not ish, whether you spell it E-E-S-H or I-S-H, there is no correct there is no correct way to write a Hebrew word in English letters. So, yeah, either ish spelled E-E-S-H or ish spelled I-S-H. Either or is acceptable because it's not an English word. All right. So let's go on, if we will, to the next part. Thank you for that question. Yisrael. Mibne Yisrael. Now let's look at this, brothers and sisters, for reasonable purposes. All right. And we want to enlarge in this. All right, to 60. And then go back to that. Mibne Yisrael. Let's look at this, brothers and sisters. This word here, Yisrael. First off, it does not come from Isis, Ra, and El. That either that guy Dr. York or that guy Jordan Maxwell with the Masonic thing was trying to emphasize. The word Yisrael, brothers and sisters, it comes from a two word in Hebrew. Now, the spiritual meaning as to why Jacob's name was changed, brothers and sisters, was because he wrestled with the angel, and Jacob was able to do so. Now, the literal meaning of Yisrael means El will prevail. El will contend. Now, when you read here, Mibne, let's just go over this real quick, right? We have the highlighter. This mem with the kirik serves as a prefix. All right. Now, whether or not something is written down or verbalized on these channels, it still holds the same aspect and weight. All right. So now, this mem with the kirik means of or from. Now, the next thing we're going to see here, brothers and sisters, is with the green. Bene. Bene meaning children of or sons of. All right. So then you have here, next, brothers and sisters, we want to show with the pen, Yisrael. Now let us color code and expound what we're talking about. All right. I'm asking you to get your pens, your markers, your pencils, your pads of paper, and let us get into this color coding it, brothers and sisters. All right. If we look at this with the light blue, we have the word YyeeQra. The vowel underneath the scene serves as a shawa. When you deal with the shawa, you join it to the sound that is before it. Thus, yeast, and then you continue to read the rest of the word. When you have in Hebrew one dot over the other, yeast, and then you continue to read the rest of the word. All right. Now, this is why I'm asking you all to get your pens, your pads, your papers, and so forth. When we look at it in dark blue, you have here, brothers and sisters, that seen and that resh. So what are we looking at, brothers and sisters, in this particular case? Want to show with the pen, sorry, so it can be seen a little clearer. Here we see that seen in that resh. That comes from the word sarah, which serves as a lamed aleph verb. Pardon me, a lamed hey verb, in that the letter hey is in that word. Sarah, in that case, means to contend or to prevail, to succeed, because you don't go into contention or a matter of that without the intention of success in Hebraic thought. Then we have here, brothers and sisters, highlighter, if we will. We want to show the highlighter in the yellow here, or mustard yellow. L. Again, this L is not from the Canaanite pantheon of gods, because Canaan didn't come about to Genesis 10, and you read about Mahalalel, meaning praising God, who is one of the relatives of Noah in ancestry, brothers and sisters, in Genesis chapter 5. So El is not from the matter of Canaan. Yisrael is not from Isis Ran El. Isis is not even Egyptian when you get into it. And so forth and so on. So we just want to point that out for reasonable purposes. Now, brothers and sisters, you have here, as pointed out, Yisrael. El will contend, El will prevail. That is the meaning of that in that particular case. Echad, Ish Echad, means what? Ish, we already stated here, means man or husband. Also means chief, also means leader. Echad means one. Ish Echad means one man. So when we go back, brothers and sisters, to this portion here, Ish Echad, out of every tribe a man, even one man. You read it doubled, Ish Echad here, and then Ish Echad here. Just like in Hebraic thought, when things are done twice, it's to confirm it. There's nothing wrong in dealing with confirmations. When Pharaoh had a dream, it was told to him twice. When the Mosai called to Samuel, he called to him twice. Before that, when the Mosai called to Moses, he called to him twice. So there's nothing wrong with confirmations. When Joseph stated, the dreams of Pharaoh are one, it is told to you twice to let you know that it is a fact. So in dealing with confirmations, even in America, they have a fax machine that says confirmed or sent. When you send an email, it says your email has been sent. When you send a text, you can have it to where you can see whether it was received or not. So in confirmation, even in Hebraic thought or in modern American thought, it is not a bad thing. So we just want to point that out while we see the words there, Ishekad, and then again we see Ishekad. All right. So let's go on into this. All right. Thank you for the timing. Again, I apologize for my situation in a volume matter in the past. All right. And we explained the word Yisrael Ish Echad, meaning one man. Tribe or branch. Shabet or Shabet means tribe or branch, or staff or stick. Because from a people, you get tribes. That's a branch of a people. So that's how Hebraic thought works. All right. Again, in closing out, giving honor and praise unto the Most High, we're going to show with the pen this mem with the kirik, and we want to, brothers and sisters, enlarge this so it can be seen, if we will. Let's go here, show it, copy it, go back, and enlarge it on this side. And it hopefully will cooperate with the brother. All right. So this right here, we're going to backdrop in color in the yellow. And this word here, Shabet. Let's go back into this, brothers and sisters. Thank you for that. All right. We want to show here with the pen means branch or tribe. All right. So I just want to meticulously show this as closely as possible for edification purposes. We ask you all to subscribe to the channel, whatever channel you're watching this on. Like, comment, give me your opinion. My telephone number is there, 908-587-4841. Let me know what you think, brothers and sisters. I am open to constructive criticism. Most High bless. Shalom. In 10 minutes, we ask you all to go to Shomrei Habrit, a channel that I am a part of, and that is at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shomrei Habrit. You will see the link. Shalom. Most High bless. Have an excellent day. Great Shabbat.